everybody, it's ATX Mom. Well, if you subscribe to my channel, you know I've been doing a lot of toddler meal idea videos. So it's inspired me to do a video of my 10 favorite mealtime essentials for your baby and your toddler. So I'm going to start here with bottles, and the bottles that we really love are these Dr. Brown bottles. The smaller one here on the right is the 4-ounce bottle. This is the size my son used when he was a newborn. And then the size on the left here is the 8-ounce. This is the one that he's using now that he's a toddler. And if you've never seen the inside of a Dr. Brown bottle, I'll show you what they look like from the inside. They have your standard bottle nipple on the top. But then when you open them up, they've got this unique little contraption that goes on the inside. It almost looks like a straw. It's got this valve and then this blue straw part. And this part is actually not a straw. It's meant to keep the air bubbles out of the bottle. A lot of babies will get really bad gas or get real colicky from air bubbles that build up in their bottles, and this prevents that from happening. And we've never had any problems with my son with gas or colic because we've always used these bottles. We have tried a couple of different bottles, and we kept coming back to the Dr. Browns. They're a really great bottle. We really love these. If you do use bottles and you're looking for a bottle warmer, we've actually been through a couple bottle warmers. We had a bottle warmer we were using for a long time that broke down on us, and I bought this little Munchkin one because it's really small. Some of the bottle warmers take up a lot of space on your counter, and if you're warming bottles in a bottle warmer, you know that it's something that's going to stay on your counter all the time. So we wanted something with a small profile, and it was the least expensive one that we could find. And since we already had one that broke, I wanted to buy one that was a little cheaper. And it's a great little machine. You fill this little reservoir here with water and pour it inside, and then the bottle fits in just like that. And you press the little button, and it warms up the bottle really great in about, I'd say about 4 minutes from start to finish it takes to warm up a bottle of either breast milk or cow's milk. There's a guide that tells you if you're using formula how much water and how long it takes, but that's a pretty nifty little machine that takes up very little space. My son, once he started graduating to Sippy Cups, this is the first Sippy Cup that we used with him, and Boon makes this Sippy Cup. It kind of looks like a little donut with a spout on the top, and it was really easy for his teeny fingers to hold on to since it's this big circle, and it has a really nice flat nipple part for the water to come out. So this was a great cup if you're introducing a little one to a cup for the first time. It's really easy for them to hold on to, and they can throw it around and it doesn't leak. So I really like that little Boon cup. Now the next cup he graduated to after the Boon cup was a Sippy Cup that looks like this, that has the 2 handles on the side. This is a Munchkin Cup. This is one of our favorites. It's actually really hard to find now. I think they've discontinued this model, so none of the baby stores are selling it. Amazon is the only place that still carries it. But similar cups like this that have the 2 handles on either side are a good way to graduate them to the next level of Sippy Cup because it's really easy for them to hold on to. Now that my son is a full-on toddler, he's using a cup like this. And we found this one at Target. This is a little Toy Story cup that doesn't have handles. Now that he has the coordination that he can just grip the cup. The reason that I really liked this cup over some of the others is it's one of the only ones I found that has a valve. You twist it and it locks the cup so that the water can't come out, and then you twist it again to open it. That's great when it's in your diaper bag and you know that it's not going to leak because you can basically close the cup. So those are some great Sippy Cups. The next thing I want to talk about are bowls and plates. These little bowls by Nuby makes these bowls. Those are great bowls when you're first starting out with solid foods or baby foods because they're really kind of small. They're great for when you're just serving one, particular puree. You can warm them up in these, and they clean up really easily. And they come, I think, 5 in a pack or 4 in a pack. They're pretty inexpensive, but I really think these are some really cute little bowls. Now that my son's eating a little more variety, we've graduated up to these divided plates. So there's 2 that I really like. This one is by Nuby. They come 2 in a pack. They're just a nice little plastic plate with the dividing little sections in it. And this one's by Tommee Tippee. And this one also has the 3 sections in it. I really like them because it encourages me to really give him a lot of variety in his diet and try to fill up each of the little sections every time I'm making him a meal. So you'll see these plates a lot in my toddler meal idea videos. I really like these divided plates. The next product I want to talk about is actually a Dr. Sears product, and this is called a Nibble Tray. You know, they encourage that little toddlers especially graze a lot during the day rather than eating really big meals. So this is a great tray to encourage that. It's a snack tray that's divided and it looks like a pineapple. So you can fill it with, you know, fruit, cheese, crackers, any sort of thing like that, and let your little toddler kind of pick and play all day. The thing that I think is really cool is there's a detachable little container at the top that actually you can put inside the freezer or in the refrigerator and get it really cold, and then you use this for dipping. So if you want to serve some fruit with some yogurt for dipping, or some vegetables with some ranch dressing for dipping, you put them in the little dipping tray, and then the little dipping tray attaches onto the bowl. So I thought that was super cute, fun way for toddlers to kind of feed themselves little snacks. Let's talk about spoons. This was actually, these spoons are by Munchkin, and again, they come, you can get them in packs of 6 or packs of 12. Really soft, flexible tips. This is a great spoon when you're first starting out with solids, and they've got really sensitive little gums. It's a really small tip of the spoon, really easy for them to fit in their little mouth. So we used this when my son first started eating, along with this spoon. This is a Tommee Tippee spoon, and this is called, I believe this is a weaning spoon. It's got a bit of a curve to it, but it also has that same kind of really soft, rubbery tip, great when they're first starting out. My son has kind of graduated past those spoons, and he started eating more solids. We got these spoons, this is actually the Babies R Us brand, these little yummy spoons. They come in big packs, but he really liked them because they're a little bit more solid. They don't have that rubbery tip, but they have a really small surface area. So when he's learning to feed himself, these are really light and really small. He really likes these spoons. And now that he's really starting to eat solids and table food, we've got him these little plastic cutlery sets that have a little fork and a little spoon. And again, these are a little bit harder plastic. They're not that super flexible, bendable plastic. These are also Babies R Us brand, and they come in a pack of a bunch of them for pretty cheap. So he really likes these spoons now. So that's his spoon progression through the past year. I want to talk about Bibs for a second. These are the Bibs that I really loved when he was really little. These are Tommee Tippee Bibs. And the reason I really like these, there's a blue one and a tan one, so you can see what they look like. The reason I love these is they have this extra padding around the neck part. It's actually a really thick foam, and they're Velcro. And this catches all of the drool when they're dribbling, when they're drinking their bottles and things like that. I found that most of his bibs would get soaking wet, and it would soak through to his clothes. So this little neck part really helped prevent that. So I really liked those bibs. The other bibs I really like are Carter's bibs, and I brought 2 kinds to show you. They make the Carter's bibs with the Velcro around the neck, and they make the Carter's bibs with the snap around the neck. We really like the snap these days because my son has learned if he pulls hard enough on his bib with the Velcro will come undone and he can pull his bib off. But the reason I really like these Carter's bibs is because they have an extra layer of almost plastic behind them. So if they get a lot of food or a lot of drink on them, they don't wet their clothes underneath. You'll find a lot of bibs in the stores that are inexpensive or really paper thin, and those kind of bibs we've tried and they just get soaked and then they don't really do their job. So these Carter's bibs are a lot thicker. And then another tip on the Carter's bibs, They sell sets of them at Babies R Us and Buy by Baby, and they're really expensive. They're almost $20 for a set of bibs. But they sell the same bibs at Target. There's a Carter's line specifically for Target. It's called Especially for You, and you can get them for $5 or $6, the same 3-pack of bibs. So if you are looking for some Carter's bibs, make sure you shop at Target for them. The next thing I want to talk about are these disposable table toppers. And we use these anytime we take my son out to a restaurant. Now that he's eating table food and he wants to put everything in front of him on the table, we pull out one of these table toppers. And I always get comments from people sitting next to me going, "Oh, those things are so neat, and I've never seen those." And what it is a little plastic mat, a little plastic placemat. These happen to be Elmo Sesame Street ones. We also have some Cars ones. And then they've got sticky on the back. They have these little strips that you peel off. And I'm not going to peel this one off completely because it'll stick to me. But on all 4 sides. And then you stick it to the table at the restaurant. And then you can feel good about them, dumping their food out on here, eating with their fingers. And they're not eating off of a dirty table. And then it makes cleanup really, really easy because you just peel it off the table and kind of keep all of your crumbs and your bits of food all contained, and you can wad it up and throw it away and not feel like you're leaving a mess behind in the restaurant. So these come in probably a 10-pack. I always just keep 1 or 2 tossed in my diaper bag, and when we go out I can put these on the table. So I really like these. One of the other things I want to talk about are, I found this great baby food caddy. I actually found it at Babies R Us. And if you go through a lot of baby food like we do, you'll find that it will start to completely take over your kitchen. So I highly recommend one of these little caddies. They're really inexpensive, less than $10 I paid for this caddy. And it sits on my counter, and it holds a lot of jars. It holds 24 jars of baby food, or those little containers of baby food that come in little square plastic pouches will fit in here. And it also has the ability to, you can turn it around and see all of the different flavors that you have in here. So we've got it loaded up with Earth's Best because that's our favorite jarred baby food. But it really keeps the counter space, keeps your counter clear, keeps all of your baby food contained in one area. It's really, really convenient, and you'll find that once you start, loading up on jars of baby food, I always buy Earth's Best when it's on sale. So I stock up, and then it takes over my kitchen. So I use one of these caddies, and they're really great. It also has a little Lazy Susan at the bottom, so it actually spins around. It doesn't want to spin on the bed right now. And then the last thing I want to talk about is my baby food maker. I could probably do an entire video dedicated to making your own baby food, and let me know in the comments if that's something you want to see, and I'll do that. But this is the Babycook baby food maker. And the reason I chose this over some of the other baby food makers on the market, including the Baby Bullet, is this is a steamer and a food processor all in one. So you don't have to have multiple contraptions on your counter. It's really small. The way it works is you fill this reservoir here with your water for steaming. You put your vegetable inside this little basket, or your whatever it is that you're steaming, and you fill it with water there's a guide that comes with it, tells you how much water, and then it steams. It turns itself off when it's done steaming. It knows how long to steam it, and then all you do is turn this knob, and it turns on the blades, and you can blend everything up all in one machine. So I really like it. It is a bit pricey. It's a bit of an investment. We really used it a lot for fruits and purees, making smoothies and things like that for my son. We made a lot of steamed vegetables for him in this. I really loved it. It was definitely worth the price because it did everything in one. And it comes with this little spoon. Some of the other things that you'll need if you do decide to make your own baby food, I just want to throw out there some things. One Step Ahead makes these great little baby food jars. Almost like little baby Tupperware containers. And they come actually 12 in a pack. There's only 6 on the tray right now. They're a great size because they're 2 ounces, which is the same size that you'll find in the smaller level 1 baby foods. And you can put these in the freezer or in the fridge. And then they snap into this little tray and stack, which makes it really simple to fill them up with the food you make in your baby food maker and then toss them in your refrigerator in this little tray. The other option you can use for baby food, and this is something that we did a lot of, was putting the food in ice cube trays. And this is actually an OXO brand, especially made for baby food. So you fill all these little compartments with the baby food and you freeze it. And once it's frozen, then you pop them all out and put them in a Ziploc bag and label them with the date. And then when you're ready to eat them, then you just pop them in a little bowl in the microwave for 30 seconds or so and defrost them and heat them up. So that's a great way to use your homemade baby food. I also wanted to throw out there 2 books that I found really great, Top 100 Baby Purees and the Start Fresh Tyler Florence book. These are both great cookbooks if you're looking for homemade baby food ideas. Again, if you're interested in seeing a video on homemade baby food, leave me a comment and let me know, and that's something I will work on for you guys. So those are basically 10 categories of things that you'll need that are feeding essentials. I want to leave you with one last thing, which is a tip. If you are washing a lot of bottles, especially with the Dr. Brown's because they have a couple extra parts, or if you have a breast pump and you're cleaning breast pump parts, Medela makes these bags called Quick Clean bags, and they come about 5 bags in a box, and they are super convenient and easy. All you do is wash your bottle parts in some soapy water, fill the bag, fill it with some water, and you toss it in the microwave, and it cleans and sterilizes the bag. So if you're not comfortable, running your bottles through the dishwasher, you can use one of these bags instead. I really love these, and they're really inexpensive. So that's just a little tip for you as you're cleaning up baby parts. These are also great for pacifiers and things like that. You can toss them in here and steam them and sterilize them. So there you go. I hope everybody got something of use out of the video. Leave me some comments and let me know what kind of products you like for mealtime with your little one, and happy eating.